Today we're exploring the symmetry tools in the Procreate app. When you open the app, if somebody's file is open, just tap on that word gallery. I am going to start a new file by clicking on the plus button, and I'm going to be using Square today. I want to set up my canvas using the drawing guides for symmetry. So I tapped the wrench, canvas, drawing guides, and edit drawing guides. When I click on symmetry, I'm also going to click that options button, and you'll see I can have vertical, horizontal, quadrant, or radial. If I pick vertical and I start drawing on one side, you're going to notice my lines show up automatically on the other side. This is great if you're doing something that has just bilateral symmetry, like a butterfly or a bug or a person. Today I want to use radial balance, so I'm going to go back there and switch my canvas over to radial balance. Next, I'm going to bring in my sketch layer. I'm going to go back to the wrench, click on Add, Insert a Photo, and I already have a little sketch photographed in my camera roll. So I started drawing this little ice skater, which reminded me of a day in New York with my son a few years ago. And I'm gonna pinch and zoom and try to locate it in an area so it just fits within one of those triangles, because the image is gonna repeat in the other triangles. Once I have it in the right spot, I'm gonna click the transform arrow off, and I need to check in with my layers now. So when we set up the canvas, the layer, you're going to notice it says assisted layer on there. I'm going to add a new layer, but I also want that layer to be assisted. So when I tap in the blue, I can go over and click on drawing assist. And now anything that I draw on that layer is going to show up with radial symmetry. Now I need to choose a brush and a color. I'm using monoline, which is under calligraphy. I'm going to start with black, and I might have to change the size of my brush using the slider, but I'm zooming in and I'm just going to start by outlining that sweater. And you can already see that I'm drawing on my ice skater, but the lines are showing up in the other sections. So I've outlined my sweater. I am using the color drop tool to fill it in with purple. I decided I wanted to stick with cool colors to make it have that feeling of a cool winter day. And I'm going to keep going in and outlining my shapes using the color drop tool to fill them in. Now originally I drew this little character with hair, but I realized that I really want to add a winter hat. So don't feel like your drawing has to exactly match your sketch layer. It's just a sketch and it's there to get you started, but please go and add any extra details you want to as you're drawing. Now I've made some progress with my colors and I want to start adding some texture. So a tool that might help you is called a clipping mask. I'm going to go to my layers, add a new one, tap into the blue and choose clipping mask. And what that means is it is going to focus, the layer below it is now linked by a little arrow. And I'm only going to be able to draw where there is color currently in the layer below. So I'm going to go into my texture brushes, find something big. I like this polka dot pattern, and choose a color. And when I paint over this sweater, I can only paint where there was color on the layer before, like I told you. So it's not super obvious because I just used white and the background is white. But if I choose a different color, you're going to notice that I can color on the sweater, I can color on the pants, but I cannot color in the background because this layer has a clipping mask. The fun part about that is when I chose this layer, I didn't turn the drawing guide on. So what that means is I can now add texture to every sweater and make them slightly different. So I'm going around and I might be able to switch up the colors when I'm adding the texture, and it does not have to be perfect radial symmetry. I can now play around with some other options. Of course, if I wanted them all to be the same, I would just have to tap into the blue on the layer and add drawing assist to this layer as well. One more thing I want to add before hitting save is some color in the background. So when you tap on your layers, you're going to notice that it says background color at the bottom. It's not a true layer because you can't draw on it, but it is kind of fun to open up a palette and click through and see how all the different colors affect the design that you already have there. When I'm ready to save my work, I'm going to click back on the wrench, hit Share, JPEG or PNG, Save Image, and that will put your artwork in the camera roll. And from there, you can get it to Seesaw or email or wherever it is that you plan on saving this artwork permanently.